Hey everyone, what's up and welcome to a new video on my channel. And in today's video I will show you some opinions and some feedback from the community on why they think that the game is in a bad state, or why they quit, or why they slow down on the game. Because as I already said, I have my own opinion about it, about the current state of the game, but it's always better to have a bigger view to see what other people think about it. And it's very important to rely on the feedback of the community, because the community is what keeps the game going. So I asked on my guild Discord server, where most of the players already are there since September or end of the last year during the soft launch. And I also asked on my last YouTube channel, so I will pick up some of the comments and put them on the video here, and I will discuss a little bit about it. I also always erase the name of the people who wrote it, because in case people don't want to be publicly on the video, I censored all the names so you don't know who texted it or who sent me the DM. So yeah, so just you know why there's a black bar and not the name. Yeah, that's why, because I want to give people their privacy and not put out names publicly on the video. So the first comment is, I think people already made many suggestions, but the devs replied with events that are so not nice, let's say it like this. And I think that's already a very valid point, that indeed there are plenty of suggestions on the official Discord server, right? We all know it. And the problem is that from all the suggestions, they take like maybe 0.1% and implement it in the game. And all the rest, like very, very good suggestions, they just literally ignore it and instead give us events that literally no one asked for, like the last lottery event. Like, people hated those kind of events so much, and they just, instead of like refreshing, readjusting those events, no, they keep on going this path. And yeah, clearly people are upset about it, and it will not make any good for the community or make anything to keep the game longer alive. So yeah, very, very valid point. Next one, someone said, the cycle repeats yet it gets more negativity driven. I was so addicted to the game, now it's just a 10-15 minutes gameplay every day, hoping to see a change in perspective from the devs. So to this I gotta say, it's very normal that when you play a new game, like in the beginning, at the start of playing a new game, time where you are the most hyped about a game, you know. And I get it. I remember when I started playing Archero 2, in the first few weeks, first few months, I grinded super hard. I played like sometimes for a few hours, okay? So yeah, but because there has been almost no big change in those 6 months, 7 months, yes, of course, the motivation gets less. And I mean, I admit that often I don't even do the guild boss battles. It's not super cool, but the game has becoming so stale and so boring at times, because it's always the same, and sometimes even doing those 10 minutes just feel like a waste of my personal time. So once again, I get it here that he says, I'm still playing because I hope for a better change in the future, and I literally hope the same. Granted, I am a content creator, and one of the really fun aspects for me are to make content, to interact with the community. That's one of the very fun parts about it. But besides of that, I'm just keeping on playing because, yes, okay, I spent a little bit of money on the game, and of course, I hope for big improvements in the near future. Granted, my hopes get lower and lower with each update that we get, that we don't like, but still, there's the hope for an improvement in the near future, hopefully. Okay, this one is a bit bigger. Someone commented on YouTube, and of course, people are free to reply, so I will read a little bit about it. And this person said, I've been playing this game since November 2024. To be honest, it has become a chore. I hope that's how you pronounce it. The events are lackluster, and there's little motivation for me to continue grinding with all those pay-to-win events. The game just feels less and less rewarding, and there's always the extra cash component involved in anything that seems remotely worthwhile. A lot of people in my guild share the same sentiment. I've seen 2 people in our guild with very high power, over 1 million power, that is indeed considered like high or on the more spender area, quit due to these above reasons. Our guild leader has also not logged in since 4 days now, and he's at 2.8 million power. Yeah, well, not logging in since 4 days, it's already the start to stop playing the game, in my opinion. Even though, of course, some real life things could happen, but yeah, it's rare for such a high player to not log in for 4 days. It's honestly sad to see a game with so much potential die like this. Even my server and server range seems to have quietened down a lot in terms of activity level. I hope Hobbies has something major cooking up for this game, otherwise I don't feel like I can continue like this either. And then we can check the reply. Someone said, I don't know what they are thinking. There was a huge backlash last time when they did that event. We are talking about the spring lottery event that's going right now. There was another lottery before, and as I said, people already complained a lot about it. And they released it even worse this time. Yeah, apparently they nerfed it even more. I didn't dig too much into it because I just don't feel like digging too much into it. It's a bad event, so yeah, maybe it got even worse, I don't know, but yeah. I will just continue to read the comment. The game is losing players by the day. I had some friends try it and they don't want to keep playing it for the lose of progress. I hope they make a good response this time. And when I think about myself, if the event was good, I was willing to invest $20 to $30 in it. And I'm sure I'm not the only one that won't put anything as the value is just so bad. And this is another aspect of the game. This is another thing where I'm like, they are not thinking out of the box and not smart enough, in my opinion, as a company. Because like if they would release a pack or so for 20 euros, 25 euros, whatever, with a crazy amount of value, yeah, then those would sell like hotcakes. Like a lot of people would buy them, right? And selling maybe something for cheaper with an insane value and selling it to way more people makes way more sense to sell something that is very expensive with like very low value and with way less people buying it. I don't know, I feel like this company doesn't really understand how marketing works. Well, at least people who are working on Archero 2. No hate here, for real, no hate here, but I often feel like that big companies have terrible marketing people behind their games and people who are not real gamers and don't understand how to sell the product to people. Granted, yes, a lot of people want to stay free to play and will stay free to play. That's good, but you need to mostly also rely on the people who spend, let's say, little amounts of money, not just a few thousands, but you also need to count heavily on the people who are like, okay, I can literally afford to spend 20, 30 euros per month on this game, then give them very great value packs or so, you know, because in the end, if you continue this path, all those players will just go away and play something else, you know. So yeah, I also get it. I barely spent any money in the last few months because all the packs have been horrible. Besides of the fishing event, all the events were mostly pretty bad. The only other event that you can consider kinda okay-ish is probably the Treasure Island, but that event is also not mega good. But yeah, it's the one that is considered also as an okay-ish event compared to other events that we have. And then another reply, this reminds me, I also introduced this game to one of my colleagues and he played it for 2 weeks and then deleted it. He said it got too grindy and boring and there was not much for him to do in the game, since most updates are targeted towards milking your wallet and towards the cash cows. And it is true. Like, the thing is that Hobby, they don't even try to hide it, that it's hardcore pay to win and that they are really hunting your money, right? I mean, with every event, we see that it's very clear that this game is meant and supposed to go the hardcore pay to win path. And I don't know, I mean, you could at least try to hide it a little bit or to make it more rewarding for everyone, but people who spend money on the game, obviously they get more rewards, but I think overall everything in the game would need an adjustment right now because it's just in a very bad place right now. And I get it that it can get very boring, especially if you start to play a game and you immediately see how hardcore pay to win events are, and then I would probably also immediately quit. So yeah, I totally get that. And then the last reply here, I love the first Archero and that type of gameplay is my favorite. I mean, The type of gameplay I also really like. It's a roguelike. Every run can be different because you have different abilities and so on. So technically I really like what it is about, like the gameplay wise. If it wasn't for those two things, I would have done the same as your colleague. I downloaded the Capybara Go game and I see what they do there. It just feels like we are some kind of not smart people to milk. They even used us for free testing of their new game and mastered us an event without rewards. It feels insulting. This comment was about the last mode that we had, you know, where some people even played for over 10 hours. It was a game mode that is technically a game mode that they just took from their new game, which I already did a video about in one of my recent videos. But yeah, we know that hobbies a lot of copy paste in their games, and yes, they just copied the mode over from their other game. I don't think it's necessarily a very bad thing, but the rewards were, yeah, once again, not very good for an event. I don't know, but events should be about heavy rewards. Events are the main point to progress in a game, but in Archero 2 it just feels like, yeah, okay, it's maybe something extra to do, but reward wise, besides of the fishing event, no other event feels really rewarding or feels like you make a big progress during the event, which, yeah, it's not how events should be. But yeah, and yeah, I agree also. If you compare it to, for example, Capybara Go, the other game from Hobby, that is miles ahead of Archero 2, sadly, even though I personally stopped also playing Capybara Go right now because I just don't want to play X amount of games at the same time. I mean, I also don't have unlimited amount of time, but it's game-wise, in my opinion, a far superior game than Archero 2 right now, to be very honest. Next comment, I have put around 200 to 300 euros, dollars, I assume, one of both, on the game, and the more you play, the more you see that you need to put more money because progressing seems to take months after like playing 2 to 3 months. If you're free to play and less spender, forget about PvP ranks with that is for sure, and seal refresh ranks added. So I mean, if you're free to play, unless you play on a very inactive server, you will never be able to compete on those top ranks, at least not for now. You will never be top rank and only get no rewards. Revive rune breaking PvP, but Hobby responds lol. Well, that was because Hobby responded that they will not ban the revive rune in arena. Revive rune has way too big of an impact in my opinion in arena, and it's true that without the revive rune it would be way more interesting. Most of the time people get 3 revives with the 50%. If I get 1 in that run, I'm pretty lucky. There I just need to say, I think it's not possible to get a second revive from the rune. It's 1 revive, like if you hit the 50% one time, that's it. You cannot revive another time, not 3 times. I mean, I've never heard about it, to be honest, so yeah. But I get it that it's very annoying. Events are just there to make you spend more money for low value reward. Achievement tower rewards are just a joke, to be honest. Yeah, everything needs to get reworked, that's for sure. And events are indeed just here right now to make a lot of money. Once again, be very clear. Yes, they are a business. Yes, they need to make money. But come on, give your customers at least good value. Make something good and don't try to sell them crap. Okay, this is not cool. Next comment. The game slowly losing the fun aspect of it as rewards getting less and less, and they don't seem to care about community feedback, lest it remotely benefits the players. That I don't really understand. But yeah, they don't listen a lot to the community feedback. I already said in the beginning of the video, that's how we all feel. I spent too much in the first 2 months, about 2,000 US dollars. Now, other than the monthly pack and too good of a value for money pack, like $17 pack, I think for the 44 keys, I don't spend. So 2,000 US dollars in the first 2 months, that's considered like whale range, even though there are people who spend way more. I know that for some people this is very shocking, but it's nothing unusual in mobile games. It's normal. Like, companies rely also heavily on people spending a ton of money into those games, and I mean it's a big sign of a problem if someone like this, who honestly doesn't have like a problem to put a lot of money into the game, says, okay, like in the first 2 months was very fun, but it got so dry that I barely spent any more money on the game, or I spent like instead of 1,000 per month, I now only spend like maybe 60 or so. It's a huge decrease. So there is also a huge problem. But besides of that, I even think that the $17 packs are not always very great value. Like the 44 keys for this spring lottery, I mean, best case scenario, you get one shard, like you get a guaranteed one shard, maybe even two if you're very lucky. And then, yeah, maybe some points. It's not great value. It's very horrible value, just say. But yeah, I get it. Most of us lowered a lot on their spendings. I mean, we all calmed down, most of us, because yeah, the game is just lacking content, okay? Another person said, at this point, I think for many players, it just sunk cost fallacy. Many will feel like they can't stop because they put in a few thousands. And it's true, having spent money on it keeps you longer into playing the game because you have that hope that something will get better eventually, you know. That is the thing. A lot of people who are free to play, it's maybe easier for them to stop playing. Even though on the other side, they're like, I spent so much time on it. Maybe I keep on going, and I hope for improvements on the game in the near future. So it's a very difficult thing. But yeah, that is honestly one of the reasons why some people stick to it and don't quit immediately. But even that is just for a certain period of time. In the end, if nothing changes, even those people will just go away and quit, because if nothing changes, no one will stick here forever. We all know it. The next one is also an interesting one. It's also from a very big whale in Archero 2. So he says, spent about $2,000. The biggest rush was at the beginning. I was mainly buying equipment keys. I didn't spend money on runes and artifacts when I realized how expensive it was. What's off-putting about the game is that they introduce new artifacts every event. Getting red artifacts without a guarantor from the gacha is terrible. The last 300 discoveries and 0 red ones. Yeah, he means that like from 300 wishes he got 0 red ones, and it's true, it's very hard. I mean, I just got 1 or 2 red ones from artifacts. It's very difficult. The scale is scary. $100 artifact means 15 copies of $1,500 each, and they add them every week. Any event needs to be paid for to get at least something, especially Monopoly event, the Island Treasure event. My opinion is that under the name of Archero, they want to milk as much money out of the players as possible, and the development part of the game will simply be using a credit card. The game is very boring except for developing equipment with scrolls and gold. There's nowhere else to get resources for development and closing chapters. Having played 3 games, I began to understand the difference. The game is very expensive. Pumping a character for the price of a good apartment in Moscow is not interesting. For the last 3 months, I have only bought 3 privilege cards. I don't take battle passes, and I spent $20 in the digging event. Oh my god, I went to take a screenshot of the battle pass, and there's this weird roulette again. So I don't know what he exactly wanted to tell us with that, but as you can see, even as a big whale, he didn't buy any more of the other passes, and I also cannot remember when the last time was that I bought a battle pass, because everything just gets so overwhelming. And yeah, I think I bought them in the first 2 months of playing, and then afterwards I never bought it again. It is a very valid point, you know. The thing is, we know how mobile games are. Let's say it like this: mobile games have the reputation to be very, very pay to win. I mean, it got to some point where it's a little bit too much indeed. And let's say it like this: if at least the game is really good and has amazing events, yeah, then so be it, okay? If the game is at least super cool, they have a lot of updates, listen to the community, yeah, nice. But if in return the game does basically nothing in favor of their players, don't listen to feedback almost at all, well, then why should you continue to pump so much money into it? And it's true, I mean, 2,000, 3,000, whatever, it's so much money. Is the game worth it? No, not at all. Especially not in this state right now. Imagine 2,000 to 3,000. We sometimes we lose track of reality on how much value money has, right? But 2 to 3,000, imagine how much value gaming wise you could get, okay? Because we are talking about a game. Let's just think about how much value gaming wise we could get. You could buy a PS5 Pro, you could buy an Xbox on top of it, you could buy the new Switch 2 on top of it, plus additional games. Just imagine, okay? But no, instead you have the option to spend it on Archero 2, which is a game that has barely any important updates, is full on pay to win, and community feedback is basically zero. I mean, the team basically doesn't listen to the community feedback. So what is the better value? I think we all know it. So it's sad to say, especially as a content creator that focuses mainly on Archero 2, it's sad to say those things, but it's just the truth. I will not be here. I mean, I hate to say it, but I just want to point it out. I saw another content creator, and no hate here, but I saw another content creator and saying that the Spring Lottery was a mega great event. In which world are you living in? Stop lying to the community, stop lying to the players. I mean, there's no need to sugarcoat those events and say, yeah, it's super good, great. No, even if you're a content creator, even if you're in the content creator program of Archero 2 and have some kind of partnership with Hubby, stop lying to the community. And this is the thing I really hate and I dislike. Like, if you start to just lie about things because you hope for a better deal with the company, or if you have maybe a partnership with them, then you're not in the right business. Then stop being a content creator, because I hate it. I hate people who lie. And I just wanted to quickly get that out because it was still stuck in the back of my mind. It's, yeah, whatever. I mean, there is no way that a person literally thinks it's a great event and maybe even says one of the best events we had. Whatever. Okay, let's go to the next comment. Okay, this one will be very small in the video, but it's a very long one, so I will just read it for you and then, yeah. I spent around 5,500 since early November. Once again, I assume it's euro or dollars. It's always hard when you don't write it down, but I assume, let's take one of both. It's a lot of money anyway. I feel so bad about it. I tried to get full refund because of financial hardship and mental issues, but they will not even consider thinking of my case. They are straight and clear that there's no way of getting refunded any price. I managed to get a 150 refund via Google Play Store, but instantly punished by the game and threatened of getting my account suspended if I didn't purchase 20k gems from the shop in the next week. Now I am thinking to try something with the bank, claiming the game has used bad methods to claim players' money. Yeah, I mean, it's very difficult because the thing is, yes, I think in the first 2 weeks you have, or even maybe in the first month, you have possibility to get a normal refund on Apple and on Google Play Store. As I said, I don't remember exactly if it's 2 weeks or 1 month, but for the first 2 weeks, for sure, you can literally just go to, there is a link, I think it's reportaproblem.apple.com. You click on there, you log in with your Apple account, and then you can just ask for refund, and that's it. If it's like after those 2 weeks or after those 30 weeks, you need a reason, and then it depends. Sometimes they refund, sometimes they don't. And I mean, I get it on one hand, but on the other hand, it's sadly the reality with everything. It is as if I, for example, would buy something on Amazon. After 30 days, I cannot get a refund back. It is what it is, no matter the reason. I mean, okay, on Amazon, sometimes it works if you write with the customer support, but most of the times you cannot just get a refund for whatever reason. But yeah, it depends. It's still possible to get refunds on iOS and on Android. You need a valid reason, you need to contact the support, and then sometimes it's possible. Keep in mind that you will probably get banned though if you get the refund. So yeah, but if you want to get a refund for whatever reason, there are possibilities, but it doesn't always work. But yeah, 5,500 is indeed a big number, especially if you don't play the game anymore or if you don't feel like playing it too much anymore. Yeah, it's a lot of money. Okay, I want to read one last comment because I think this video got already way too long. So sorry, I hope it was not too boring. So the next comment. For me, fam, the start, the hype was real. The grind, early rush, the fun of figuring things out together. Then over time, the The content began very repetitive and way too back to back without anything fresh. Then the events hit and it became even more clear that this game is just a money grab rather than something built for long-term fun and balance. That's why I probably wouldn't download another hobby game again. Not even to test it out, but I'm still here, sticking around, but just not as hardcore as before. Because first of all, we all put bits of money into it, and second, more importantly, we got an awesome little community. Well, this was on our guild Discord server, so that's what also he meant, that we built a community in our guild who also plays other games and so on. Hoping the devs do something and bring in some actual fun, fair features down the line. Yeah, super true. I mean, it's true, everything was so fun and fresh in the beginning, and with the lack of content, not a lot of things getting added to the game, people go away. Of course, we don't have any stats, only Hobby has the stats, but come on. We all know how it feels, how it is in game. I mean, also on the Discord server, I see the numbers, and I see also often like a lot of people leaving the Discord server. We can see the numbers on YouTube. We can see the player numbers in game. I mean, I see it in my own guild. I'm the leader, and how often do I need to kick people out of the guild because they have become inactive? We see it. There is no need to sugarcoat it once again. I mean, even if Hobby would now tell us, no, everything's fine. No, we know it would be a lie. Players are leaving, and it's normal that after a global launch, most of the time, most games, like player base goes down, okay? But it feels like in Archero 2, it's like going a lot down, you know? But it's very, very understandable. It's still not too late to turn it around, to give us great events, great value packs, and all of those things, listen more to the community. It's not too late there. But the problem is, if nothing changes in the Archero 2 team, things will probably still the same, because if still the same people are in charge, they still think that they are right, no matter how bad some decisions are. I mean, we all know those people who are clearly wrong, but they still stick to their things because, I don't know, somehow they also think it's right, even though when everything clearly shows you everything goes downhill, they're like, no, it's very good. It's very, very good. It's a weird thing, but it is what it is. I mean, honestly, I don't know if I will still play in 6 months or so. Who knows? I mean, I pre-ordered the Switch 2, which will come in early June. So I will probably play a lot on my Switch 2. Maybe I will do another YouTube channel and do content on Switch 2 games. I don't know. I'm very, very hyped for it. Super much looking forward to it. How is that how you say it? I don't know. But yeah, besides of that, I also grinded a lot lately the game Archero, the MMORPG, where I also have already made a video about it in this channel. And yeah, I mean, if I play Archero 2, it's mostly like 10 minutes per day or so, like not a lot. But yeah, I would say this is it from this video. It was, I don't know, it was from the community, and I think it's important to post those videos out here because this is the reality. This is the community. This is what the community thinks. Of course, I could not take every comment that I got into this video. It's already way longer than expected. Sorry for it. In case you're still here, much love to you. Thanks for the support. But yeah, I also always have the hope that maybe someone from the hobby team sees those kind of videos here, and that they maybe then think, okay, maybe we indeed need to change something. That's my hope. I mean, I know that it will probably never happen because they also seem to not care a lot about content creators. That is my honest opinion about it. So yeah, but I try my best, and hopefully they will change some things in the future. Okay, I would say this is it. Feel free to leave a like and subscribe for more content on my channel. As I say, I might not always reply to comments, I know that, but I always read them, I swear. Okay, this was it, and hopefully see you on the next video. Bye bye.